Welcome to the Unfinished Path. I'm Devon Thrasher, and I'm so glad you could join us as we continue to explore the curves and the twists of life. I hope you enjoy the video. It is a beautiful day in February, 71 degrees, unusually warm. Called the family and said, grab your gear, let's go camping. And for those of you who are like, you just called your wife and said you were going camping, and she agreed? Yeah, she's awesome like that. To tell you the truth, we've been doing sporadic stuff like this for a long time. So just now getting the video. Hope you enjoy it. Gonna run into the Dollar General and grab some stuff.
Well, there goes that plan.
Dollar General was out of just about everything I was gonna get. And so as Victor Wooten would say, we improvise and call it ad-lib. we will eat tonight. It just may not be standard campfire cooking. So we'll see. Still looking forward to it. Almost home, and change clothes and head out. The next clip you see, we will be setting up camp. Non-pro tip, but if you want to be able to do camping, you really need to get your gear together. We're not professional by any means. If you are professional, you can tell. But just having gear together allows you to do impromptu trips like this and have a blast instead of spending an entire day trying to get ready and feeling frustrated because nothing's where it's supposed to be and you forgot you get my point. Boys are still struggling a little bit, but it is good for them because they're learning. They got their hammocks up on their own and they're working on getting their rain flies set up. Mama and I are ready to go. Now on to the business of firewood, hopefully before it gets dark on us. How do you know you got a good wife? When you come back and she's already got the fire started for you. And even recorded footage for it. At least we got some firewood though. We'll be good to go for a while. As you can see, it started getting dark. So I had to help the boys finish out their tarp situation there. Typical 10 and 8-year-old boys, they lost their tarp, so they ended up with one. So we got 2 hammocks side by side. So they might have an interesting night's sleep, but at least they'll be sleeping and be covered from the rain. It's ghostly in the light. I don't know why I said rain. It's not raining. Dew. So I mentioned something the other day in one of our videos that I had to take the little girl to the hospital and she didn't break her arm though, even though we thought she did. Turns out she actually did. So the first hospital missed it, second one got it. But she's okay, ain't she? So this is our first camping trip of the year. And it's something we do on a pretty regular basis. We enjoy it. If you've seen the setup to this point, you can tell obviously we aren't doing things primitive or anything like that. We have dabbled with that a little bit just for fun and probably will again, but I'm making no pretenses of being Bear Grylls, Outdoor Boys, any of those guys. I'll give you another one you can check out. if you're into that kind of content, and that is the Dangerous Farmer channel. Good stuff there. But I'm always interested in historical stuff. We're not too far in this location from the Meriwether Lewis, well, the Natchez Trace in general, but the place where Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark fame was making his way back from a separate trip, and he's heading towards DC, and he stops off at a cabin, and kind of mysterious circumstances, but he ends up, maybe a couple years ago, did a like a 23-mile run hike down the trace, self-supported with a pack and all of my water and stuff of that nature. And I was reminded, I passed a place that used to be a well where Andrew Jackson's men, on the way back from New Orleans, the War of 1812, had dug this well, of how just difficult life must have been for most of human history just to exist. We're doing this for fun, and it is fun because we don't have to do it every day. We can get up tomorrow and go back to quote-unquote normal life, and it's all fine. But that was not the case for them. Every aspect of their life, from pulling, if you wanted to drink, you didn't open a water bottle, you didn't go to the tap, you had to pull it up from a well or go down to the river or creek or something with a bucket. And just very, very different life. And so we set up this camp. Took us probably an hour and a half. We got here right before it was starting to get dark. Hour and a half to get everything set up, fire going, wood stacked over here. But I'm using quite a bit of modern equipment, or modern tools, define equipment, versus all hand powered, self-powered, you-powered tools. And I'll try to tie those two thoughts together. I could not imagine, as it was very common for people in the day, particularly in armies and whatnot, to hike 10, 15, 20, 30 miles in a day, carrying all of your gear, carrying all of your equipment, and then still have the strength and energy to set up camp that night and maybe go find and forage food or hunt, and then get up the next day and do it again. The endurance level is off the charts, and I very much tip my literal and proverbial hat to them. What? What's weird?
Looking at a camera and just talking.
Yeah. It is. It is strange. So I mentioned we went by the Dollar General, and they were out of all the stuff we were typically going to do. So we are going to have the meatiest chili known to man. It is going to be full of hot dogs and sausage and whatever else. But it will be edible, and it'll be plenty of protein. Jalapeno sausage, cheese, bunch of chili, some Fritos corn chips. Thank you, Lord. It's funny what light can do to a video. I'll give you all kinds of images. I noticed in the clip right before I opened this of the chili that green chili looks like it's got something seriously wrong with it. Everybody is hunkered down, got our hammock set up. Can't really see much. It's completely dark. There's a flashlight. We are calling it a night. Check in the morning, hopefully with some coffee before time to head back and go to work.
Good morning. Made it through the night. It got a little bit chilly. Made it through the night, fixing to get a fire started, get some coffee going. I'll feel a whole lot better then. You'll find out I like my coffee. It's a thing.
So if you look and see my jacket, man, that jacket looks warm. Wait a second. Has he got a hoodie on under the jacket? Yeah. I will admit the jacket looks warm. It suckered me in too. I found it on eBay and it looked
like a jacket I had a long time ago that was an American Eagle vintage jacket with like a wool layer inside, and it was awesome. I work in construction and I spilled a 5-gallon bucket of paint on it one day, and I was so messed up about it. I wasn't able to get it all out, and it got hard and like it was unusable. But anyway, I found this jacket and I thought, man, that's awesome. That's what that is. The only part of this that has anything like wool is the collar, and it's super, super thin. So yeah, it looks warm, and that's about it. With the hoodie and the jacket, I actually am warm, and that's what I'm going for. When it comes to fire starter, there's a ton of different ways. I prefer that right there. I need to make some more. But if you will take cotton balls, buy a whole giant bag for like $1, Vaseline, which you can buy another thing, a jar of it for $1, and you can make a ton of these with that right there. You can roll the cotton balls in Vaseline. When you get ready to start your fires, just spread them out a little, and the cotton fibers will catch easily, and the Vaseline burns for quite a long time. And there it is. And again, to all the professionals, I'm sure you realize I'm not professional. But to all the non-professionals, if you see me scraping on this Ferro rod, what I'm doing is I'm putting some of the shavings down in there on top of it just for extra insurance, and then when I actually go to light it, the second spark, it caught. This isn't even a lot of time. I mean, you see me make it, and I didn't do anything in particular. Fire prep goes a long way to making sure you actually get a fire started. I have spent far too long frustrating myself with a fire that I couldn't get lit. That's annoying. That'll ruin a good camping trip.
Growing up, I don't know about you, I was not in a family that did camping trips like this. I went on a couple with my parents, but their version of camping was an RV. And nothing wrong with that, but it's not this. And so, as an adult with kids of my own, I'm trying to teach them, but to be honest, I'm teaching them as I learn. So all of the different things from fire starters and cutting wood and whatever else, we're learning as we go. Although the last probably 3 years now, we've been trying to make an effort to get out and do these kinds of things. And it's been really fun. So I say make an effort, but we've enjoyed it a whole bunch. We went 21 days last year and had an absolute blast. I wish I'd have been videoing and making content on that trip, because we've seen some epic stuff. A lot of the things you see in the intro and the outro is from those trips. Oh, that trip, rather. It's actually remarkably good. It is instant coffee, which I'd had instant tea before, not instant coffee. And instant tea, sorry if you like it, in my opinion, is horrible. Instant coffee is simply freeze-dried coffee. And so if you get good coffee, it comes out, and when you pour it in, it instantly dissolves and it tastes like good coffee. If you get bad coffee, it tastes like bad coffee. But nothing wrong with instant coffee. So if you haven't tried it, especially on a camping trip or something like this, that's really easy to pack in and out.
My back was wet. I was sweating so hard. Oh wow, I was freezing last night.
This one's hot-natured to a ridiculous extent. Everybody else has got up this morning talking about shivering and being cold. He's like, I'm sweating. I know y'all probably seen his hoodie and heard my accent and thought, those people are definitely from California. But no, we just visited. It is a beautiful place, though, I'll give you that. Always remember the advice of old Smokey. It is Smokey, right? Smoky, smokish. Put your fires out. Just good practice. You don't want to be that guy. First camping trip of 2026 is in the books. We've got just a little bit more cleaning up to do and we are out of here. I hope you enjoyed the video and we will see you on the next one. Peace.